Hey, everybody out there, and welcome back to everybody's favorite new podcast. This is Are You Garbage? I am your host, H. Foley, coming at you from the home studio here in beautiful Astoria, Queens. My co-host, about 1,000 miles away from me, coming at you from an undisclosed location somewhere in southern New Jersey. My good pal, Kevin James Ryan, everybody.
Hey, what's up? Down here in the bunker, baby. You know, living to fight another day. Gathering my I'm planting a garden out back, making my own turnips. You know, who knows how this thing's gonna go.
Storing squirrel meat in the freezer.
I know, man. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Happy to be here. Thanks for tuning in. You know, quick little business. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe. You know, you can subscribe on YouTube. All the videos, full videos of the episodes are on YouTube, so you can subscribe and watch them there. Yeah, happy to be here, buddy.
Yeah, do us a fucking favor, will you? We're tanking over here. Help us out. Our incredibly awesome guest that we have today. We're so happy to have him here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go over this real quick. All right. Legion of Skanks podcast, one of the biggest podcasts out there. Real Ass Podcast, the host of. Owner, Gas Digital Network, podcast fucking network. Killing it. The creator of Skank Fest and the soon-to-be Skank Fest South. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's a fucking self-made man out there, we got him on the fucking line right now. Most of you bozos out there should take a page out of this kid's book. Ladies and gentlemen, the Puerto Rican rattlesnake, Luis J. Gomez. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate the very undeserved intro. I feel like a fucking loser. I'm sitting here in my shitty fucking bedroom with stains all over my bed. And,
I know. I just saw your unmade bed. As you were crawling to organize the pillows, and I was like, we are seeing way too much of each other.
Yeah.
I will say this. I was expecting a little more out of the fucking boudoir, not the that IKEA setup you got behind you.
Yeah, dude. I don't.
As a business owner.
I haven't gone into my bedroom yet and made it nice. I mean, it's fine. It's not bad, but it's like I have a hard time, dude. Like the only reason I have anything nice at all is because I have a 7-year-old, and I remember like up until because I probably started having memories like we started having like our first memories when we were like 4, right?
Yeah.
If you think back to your earliest fucking memory, you're probably 4 years old. So right up until like his 4th birthday, I was living like a fucking heroin addict. I mean,
Playing it fast and loose, baby.
He ain't gonna fucking know. Who gives a shit?
He had no memories of anything before that date. I mean, I would fucking put cigarettes out on his arms. I would hit his mother. Fucking
no refrigerator.
Yeah. Smoke crack in the house. Nobody gave a fuck. But then right before he turned 4, I started getting my shit together a little bit. So, yeah. Who the fuck makes their bed as well? What is wrong with you? Don't judge me for not having a made bed. What type of sociopath gets up and makes his bed every morning?
I've never made my bed, ever. I'm just saying I didn't think I'd ever see your bed. That's all I'm saying. Just watching you.
Well,
I was just expecting a little more out of the headboard. I mean, you got like the basic IKEA. I thought you'd have like...
It's a fucking nice headboard, actually. I'm actually really impressed with my headboard. I didn't own a headboard. I fucked a fat chick in my bed maybe a month and a half ago.
Crack wagon, yeah.
And I broke my bed frame.
Jesus.
It was like... You know, it really wasn't good. It was if you look at it, looked like 2 Mexican wrestlers going at it.
Fucking power bomber.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
It was like, yeah. And then I had to get. So I finally bought a headboard, and I took a lot of time. And the first thing you attack about my room is my headboard, and now I'm very self-conscious.
Well, I was just picturing something more. I thought your room was going to look like Gene Simmons' room or something like that. That there would be like snake pillars going up and like a canopy over the bed.
I want to do. I want to invest more into my apartment. I have a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom in Harlem. I have a really good deal. Right,
That's
nice.
Not leaving this place until I purchase something.
There you go.
But I'm also spick. So now that I got certain things going on, and I can afford certain things, like I really want to turn my half bathroom into a steam room. And
oh my God,
every person in my life that isn't a spick is like, dude, you're not doing a $5,000 renovation on a bathroom that you have to go and turn back once you like leave your lease. And I'm like, nah, dude, that's all I want is a fucking steam room in that half bathroom.
I say go for it, 100%. A nice steam in the middle of winter, get a little schwitz going. That's fucking
my problem
all right
now. My only, literally, and I'm being very accurate and very true about this. My only problem with coronavirus is that I can't steam right now. I can't name another problem with it.
Because you can't go to Equinox.
Is that where you go, Equinox?
Yeah.
I
got
go
a little
down
bit of
to-
cash, this guy. And let me tell you something, Kippy. Points in his favor. The half bath really moves you up a notch. When you got that extra half a bath.
A powder room, if you will. That's
Yeah.
fucking class.
And I don't even tell women that it's a half bath. I just say it's a full bathroom. Like, which bathroom do you want? Which one? They were, which bathroom? I'm like, I just say, which one?
Ooh, that's
There
a
you go.
fucking power move right there.
You want to fucking impress a chick. Which bathroom? Which one? There you go.
That's fucking class.
But I think Todd Lynn did that? Like, didn't he do like I think it's a famous story. He died, God rest his soul, so he can't refute the story. But he got his first development deal for like $150K, and he went and put like $80,000 in renovations into his apartment. It was like Coming to America. Like, he put a hot tub in it, and he fucking. And then
that's fucking great.
They came to renew the lease, and they were like, "No, we're not going to renew the lease. You can go." And they just like kept everything.
They got the TV that comes up out of the dresser.
Yeah. So
The super sitting having a hot tub in the middle of the floor.
all I want is a fucking steam room in my home. This is the only thing that I want in the world.
Dude, I've been getting into it more and more. I go to I'm assuming you've gone at some point, the Russian Turkish baths down on.
Oh, of course.
That's fucking great, man. There's nothing better than that place.
That's how I justified my Equinox membership, because I was going to the Russian Turkish bathhouses like 4 times a month, 5 times a month. And I was like, this is costing me almost as much as an Equinox membership.
And you don't have the gym membership, yeah.
Exactly. So now I get a fucking steam room, and I get hot gay guys as well. You only get fucking old Russian dudes at the Russian Turkish baths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little more eye candy.
Dude, Russian. Well, if that was open right now, oh, how nice would that be?
It'd be fucking great,
say
dude.
We should all go spits right after this podcast. Let's just go, get naked, have a little fucking what is it like? It's a young boy that like massages you in the steam room. The one really hot sauna.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Well,
If that thing was open right now, there'd be like 400,000 people with the corona, because that place is a fucking germ factory.
that really is a disgusting place. They do not keep it clean, but it's
That's
still,
the place with the AIDS breakout in the 80s, right? That was like the epicenter.
No.
Yeah, dude, because it's all fucking gay dudes fucking each other. That place was the epicenter of it.
I thought it was a Chuck E. Cheese and
Hasbro. No. It's fucking. And also, comedian Sam Rubinoff, he had a membership there. So he would go during the week when it's just like it's dudes only. And he said, when you go, there's the one, I don't know what one it is, like the one down on the left. I don't know if it's like the sauna or whatever. It's one of them where they hang a towel. They cover the light with a towel. And if you walk in and don't see the light, that means that like there's dudes, blowing each other or getting hand
that's the
jobs
fucking party room right there. That's where you
Dude, imagine being gay.
cleaning up, dude. There's
Imagine.
not a care in the world.
But I mean, think of Foley. Think about that. You're just fucking, because like nobody like I've been hit on in steam rooms probably a dozen times, like aggressively. Like a guy will just fucking open up his towel and have a fucking boner and
at
just
the
show it to
gym.
you. Oh yeah, for sure.
On the elliptical.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, I'm doing lunges here. You want to back the fuck up?
Yeah, dude,
But I thought Equinox would be freaking out about that.
No, dude. They started freaking out about it a couple of years ago because there was a big class action lawsuit because a bunch of fucking straight dudes who, like, you feel weird. Like, I feel like it's this weird thing because I'm going, like, I'm not hateful against gay guys, right?
Yeah.
But
I do want to sue them. Yeah.
They're coming at me, dude. These homos are fucking attacking, And so I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, well, I'm cool with it. Just so you know, it's not your lifestyle that I have a problem. It's you trying to rape me. Just want to point that out. So you feel this weird shame. And it's also like, I'm not a woman, so it's also not the same thing as like a woman having a guy expose himself. Like a chick, like she knows at that moment, like, oh, if that guy wanted to just fucking drag me into the fucking.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
she's powerless, yeah.
For me, I'm going to fucking, I'll light up most of the guys that have tried to fuck me before.
Yeah, but now you know how it feels a little bit. You know what I mean? You get an idea what women go through. And hey, you got a tight little body on you, kid. Don't be prancing around in your short shorts and nobody even making a grab
Dude,
at
it's not
you.
short shorts.
You're asking for it.
We are naked. We are in a.
Oh, see, there you go.
Okay? So, but here's the thing. It's sort of not like a woman because all I get out of it, and we can admit it or we cannot admit it, but all I get is the feeling of feeling somewhat flattered, right?
Yeah, there's no
But
real
then-
threat. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no threat. There's then a little scuzzy and a little like, all right, buddy, put your fucking cock away, right? I'm not your fucking plaything, bitch, right? But
By the way, nice piece.
yeah, solid piece. So, but women have the feeling of like, oh shit, this guy, if he wants to, can hurt me. So there's a feeling of powerlessness that you don't have. The only way, all right, imagine this. You could probably imagine when you walk through a black neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
They can
Dude,
just take you.
Yeah, I live in the Heights, dude. It's like I'm fucking checking my 6 every 2 seconds. You know, and my head's on a swivel. I'm a mark.
But exactly, that's what you actually kind of feel. You know much more what it's like to feel like a woman than I know what it's like to feel like a woman. Because I will.
You can walk in both worlds. Louis J. Gomez walks in both worlds.
Any 3 guys that have tried to fuck me at Equinox, I could probably take.
Mm-hmm.
None of them. They're usually older, feeble gay guys that are. I mean, they're never like, I mean, how many fucking really tough gay guys are there anyway? I mean, I'm sure there are like some badass. I know there's a couple MMA fighters that like are gay.
Are there MMA fighters in the UFC?
Not in the UFC, but there's definitely a couple that are out. But I think I
feel like Lewis is saying he never gets hit on by the guys he wants.
Yeah. There's no dudes that can just grab me and, really fuck me. I'm looking for a guy to take what he wants. Yeah.
If you're gonna bang a dude, you want to be banged by a fucking man, right? So I'm gonna say, by the way, my son is in earshot right now.
He's in there learning his fucking ABCs. You're like, I want a fucking real big Puerto Rican guy.
But you want a beefy dude on top of you. You don't want no fucking little pussy. You know what I'm saying? So that's sort of the issue. Like, maybe it's just that I haven't been presented with the right guy. You guys are right.
There you go.
You never know.
I always thought about how that must feel like what you're saying with like women when like, there's that fucking threat of like, well, this fucking, could be some huge animal and he could just fucking grab me. I remember like the first time in New York that I realized how bad like catcalling was and like how fucked up it was. Like in the 40s and 50s, you hear like, hey, dollface, how you doing? I was right behind this woman. She was walking, she had her headphones on, so she didn't hear the guy. But this dude was walking towards us the other way. And as he got by her, this was his exact words. He goes, damn, you got those dick-sucking lips. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Open up with a how you doing or something first, pal. You're going to lead off with that? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's that, yes, fine. I don't know that catcalling, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around how catcalling is a real big problem. It's like my mother fucking...
Well, something like that is.
My mother killed herself with heroin. My dad was stabbed to death when I was 4 years old. I can't wrap my mind around... It's just, I just have no empathy for a woman who's like, oh my God, my day was so horrible. 3 guys said something to me on the street. I'm like, they didn't hit you. They didn't fucking take your purse. They didn't. Like, what are you doing? Like,
I don't think we need to do the test. I think he's garbage.
Well,
he's off the streets, baby.
I'm just saying. Look, this whole fucking coronavirus thing. I'm going like, I got real problems, bitch.
Of course.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say? It's hard. And if you see that in less affluent neighborhoods, if you go to really you go to these fucking white neighborhoods or affluent neighborhoods,
freaking out.
People are losing their minds. And then you go to the, more shittier neighborhoods. And this is why, they'll show you pictures of people in the subway. It's like, when you go to the subway in the Bronx, people are just going to work. They're like, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm going to work. My landlord's not going to listen to the fact that there's a virus. That's that. I have an illegal fucking lease. I'm not even supposed to be here.
There's 15 people in a 2-bedroom. Yeah, it's like they got bigger problems.
And it's just, and I know that it's irresponsible to say. It's like, I can't, I understand that side of it as well. I do get it.
No, it makes sense.
Because they're going.
I get where you're coming from.
They're going, I might get corona next week or in 2 weeks, but if I don't have the rent on the first, I need to, I need money to feed my kids and shit like that. They got different problems.
Yeah. I mean, my son's mother's completely out of work right now. That's that. It's just there's half the fucking income coming. I mean, we're not in the same household, but it's still still
goes to the same place. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my son has half of the income coming into his life. I should, put it that way. So, it sucks, but luckily, some of us I didn't have to splurge on a headboard, so I got a little bit of a cushion.
Is the kid putting the screws to you for the cash? Does he know what's up? Shaking you down?
He doesn't understand money. He's, you know, he doesn't understand what the difference between $500 or $5 is. He's a fucking child.
All right, brother. So let's jump into the game here. We're going to ask you a series of questions. Answer them to the best of your ability. If you have anything to add to the questions, please feel free.
Hold on? Do you think you're garbage? I mean, you know, you had a bit of a different upbringing. You know what I mean? You know, your dad was murdered and your mom died of heroin. Like, it's not, you didn't have the traditional suburban upbringing. You know,
who raised you?
Wolves. No, my mom raised me, but she was really shitty and abusive. And I think that it depends on how you define garbage. I think that deep down in my core, my foundation was built off of just a real big pile of shit garbage. And I think that you'll never escape that. But it's just, I mean, it depends on how you define garbage. Am I currently garbage? I don't think so.
Well, yeah, that's the way. Sorry to cut you off, but that's the way we look at it. It doesn't have to do with economics or like how you grew up. It's some people grew up or surrounded by garbage, and that made them realize that they don't ever want to be garbage. Like I assume now that you have the place, like your apartment's fucking tip top. You take care of your son to the 10th degree. You make sure everything's under control. I mean, you can kind of see it in your work ethic. You know what I mean? You couldn't be, like a piece of shit and accomplish what you've accomplished, building a business and building a fucking, a network. You couldn't do that. So you could have learned from growing up.
Weinstein did all right with it, I think.
Yeah, you could be a piece of garbage. You can definitely. So here's the thing. I think, a characteristic and a trait of a piece of garbage is maybe being narcissistic or a sociopath. And I think that you can be very, very successful while.
Yeah, that's actually, you would argue it's a key to being, elements of that are a key to being successful.
Yeah, you could hurt people, you could have no empathy for people that you're supposed to love and take care of. And you could get to a very, very high level and still make garbage decisions, do garbage things. When I look at if a person is garbage, it's almost like it's not about where they're at economically.
No.
It's in spite of that, right? In fact, it would even accentuate it more if somebody would act a certain way. Like if somebody is more affluent, and I would give them less leeway to be garbagey. So I would consider them even more garbagey than a person that reacted the same way that was less affluent.
Because it's a bigger of a jump. Yeah.
They should know better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just it depends on so I think it's about who you are, how you react, what you do to certain situations. That would define whether or not you're garbage. And I think I'm somewhat polarizing in this category. I think you have people that listen to our shows. There's people going right now like, yeah, dude, Lewis is 100%
fucking
garbage.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's other people being like, no, Lewis is a good dude. He's, so it just depends.
Yeah, it's a little more, I mean, especially the game, it's more lighthearted. It's like growing up, did you, have this or that? It's not, it's definitely.
Yeah, you were turning into a fucking episode of SVU. I'm like,
no, dude.
Lighten it up a little bit.
I'm taking it very seriously.
I'm going to ask you if you like skim milk or not. That's where we're starting. You're talking about fucking Lex Luthor shit over here.
I mean, if you ever want to take over the world.
Do you give your kid name brand juice boxes? That's as far as we're going.
Let's start off with Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that is true. It's like, it's definitely, there's garbage people for sure. It's not like actions. Yeah. It's more based on, kind of behavior.
He's sucking you down this rabbit hole. You're following suit right along.
I'm all serious. I'm like, my fucking dad.
Yeah. What are we, Chris Cuomo over here? Let's go. Hit the fun button, all baby. Right. Come on.
I got one. All right, let's get started. Or Foley, do you want to do some of the easier ones up front?
Well, I'm not going to ask him about his childhood now. What the fuck? It's just
ask me.
I got one.
I have an open book.
And plus, the thing is, the basics are they don't really apply to city kid stuff. Like something that we always start off with people, Lewis, is what grocery store did you go to growing up?
I'm not a city kid. I'm a suburban kid. I grew up in Rockland County, New York. I grew up in the burbs.
Ooh, all right. What was the name of the grocery store growing up that you went to?
ShopRite.
Oh,
classy.
A fucking
there you go.
Classy place.
We went to ShopRite. It was my mom worked at said ShopRite.
Oh, nice. I used to work at a grocery store too.
I mean that ShopRite I worked at that ShopRite too. Actually, I worked in the fucking deli meat section.
Dude, the deli meat section when I was there, it was always the kids that had weed or that would buy you beer when you were under. Dude, if you were in the deli section as like a 19 or 20-year-old, you had made some bad turns.
Don't buy meat from a fucking supermarket deli section. I don't think I ever washed my hands in high school. Like once. I don't remember a single time where I sat down to wash my hands. Now, I've showered and I've cleaned myself and I swam in pools and lakes and things. So for sure.
Quit bragging.
For sure, my hands were clean.
My hands are clean. I went swimming in a lake one time. My hands are clean, dude.
Well, let me ask you this. Since you brought that up and you worked there, and I'm not innocent of this either entirely, or my associates weren't innocent of it, did you ever do anything to anything? You ever pee in anything? Any of the, like, piss in the potato salad or dip your nuts in the fucking corned beef or anything like that?
Not at ShopRite. No, we...
Over at Acme? Don't fucking go there.
Well, no, I worked at a Mexican restaurant called Fiesta Cancun. I've worked every day since I was 11 years old. And I was a kid before that, since that was my son's age. My son's 7, dude. At 7, I was knocking on people's doors, asking them if I could rake their lawns, do odd jobs.
Same thing here. Same thing with Kippy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, I was so poor growing up and, just having, I was also very aware. We were talking about how my kid doesn't understand money. Like I was so aware that we were poor at that young of an age and making money was something that was sort of on my mind. Mm-hmm. So I always had a job, but when I was 15 years old, I worked at Fiesta Cancun, which was a Mexican restaurant. And there was like just an asshole of a guy, like a fucking old Jewish guy that was just being shitty to every Mexican and I wasn't Mexican. I was just a big Puerto Rican kid. I was like twice the size of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And I was a busboy, but the whole team, I think the manager, the owner, everybody was involved. Everybody knew what was going on. They filled up their water pitcher from the toilet. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
That's fucking garbage, but that is fucking awesome.
I love that, baby.
The whole dude, literally, ice went into it and went, cool, all right, motherfucker. And put it on the table, and I was like, they are fucking ruthless.
Dude, that is some fucking diabolical shit.
That's some cartel shit right there.
Every time Trump talks about the wall, I'm like, you know what? You don't know what these people are capable of.
Yeah, Fiesta Cancun or Cancun Fiesta.
Well, that's why, dude, you never fuck with fucking the waiter. You never fuck with people in the kitchen. You never act like a fucking asshole with that stuff because they will fucking poison you.
I know this, and I wish I could control myself, but in the moment when I'm spending money at a place, I bring myself back to being this little poor kid, and it goes. I'm like, I was like, how fucking hard I've worked for what I fucking. This waiter is gonna forget my fucking breadsticks.
It's not like that. That's garbage.
It's not right.
That's garbage. If you're justifying the money you spent on breadsticks, you're fucking trash.
Doggy.
You're like Ricky Bobby's dad, just causing a fight for no reason.
I think back to ShopRite, my mom working at the fucking register, just bleep, bleep, bleep. And I was like, dude, I worked way too hard. And then I know they go back and they just, fucking shove each breadstick into their asshole, pull it out, and put it on my fucking plate. So, but
really, you're that guy. So I'm waiting on you. You order a cheeseburger. Okay. I bring it out. There's no cheese on the burger.
Buddy, don't eat it, please.
You already ate 3 on the walk out.
Can this make it to my plate? Holy shit.
Dude, I was saying, Lewis, you might be able to see. I just noticed before you got in, he's so fat he doesn't have ears anymore. Did you notice that? He's so fat, it's gone past his ears.
Yeah, dude. The problem is, Foley, you would be handsome. I'm noticing from this angle, dude, you need to lose weight because you'd be a handsome, vampire-y looking fucking gorgeous. You could be goth, dude. Put some fucking eyeliner on Foley, a fucking
rock it out.
Dude. Just all he needs is to lose some fucking weight. He'd be a hot, gothy vampire.
Dude, he's got the good head of hair already.
Yeah, dude.
You got a good frame on you. You were athletic fucking 20 decades ago, but you could pull it together late in the 9th, dude. You're in your 40s. You could get it together and have
He probably has one in him, dude. I think every fatty has one run. One run where they're like, you know what, dude, they're on keto. They're posting, they're hashtagging, they're in the gym. Foley's gonna have one of those in the next couple years.
I hope, if he makes it, dude. He's also living in Queens. That's like the height of fucking Corona. He's got at least 2 or 3 of the pre-existing conditions. I'm sure of it. I think.
Well, I thought if I get the Rona and I survive it, that might take me down at least 20 pounds. Kickstart the fucking program there.
Let me tell you something. If Foley loses his sense of taste, he's gonna put a bullet in his mouth in the first day.
He wouldn't make it to lunch.
That's it. I can't do it no more.
He'd be eating eggs and then just fucking off himself.
He just fucking shoved the fork into his fucking.
Not even wait for the diagnosis.
I can't go
I held on as long as I could.
I can't go on like this. It's too much. It's been 2 hours.
I've eaten 4 bowls of Crunch Berries, and I still taste nothing. Doc, I can't do it no more. Pull the plug.
Dude, you're so fat. It's crazy. You are so fat. Oh, I love it.
All right, let's stick to the topic here.
That's the problem when we get guests that are really good at like fun to riff with. We get off track on the game.
It's okay. I'm assuming there's a theme. The people that are more garbagey are probably more fun to riff with.
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
Have you ever? I got a question for you.
Go.
Have you ever almost or gotten into a fight with another kid's dad? So
like
far.
meaning my kid like.
Because of your kid. Yeah.
Not I got into a fight with a guy who happened to be a father. Right? You're saying
because of the kid. You're on the playground with the kid. Some kid pushes your kid. The dad doesn't do anything about it. You got to go over and fucking straighten him out.
No, but I mean, there's been moments where there's been like, the kids being a dick on the playground. You kind of look, and I've never had to really deal with that for the most part. You're not dealing. I also, we go to playgrounds in the Upper West Side, there's schools in the Upper West Side. It's like, it's a different class of person. You're not really dealing with as garbagey of people up there.
Yeah, gotcha. No one's really gonna throw down on 89th
They're
Street.
petrified of you.
Yeah,
they're like, dude, please, we don't have any problem.
The Lewis walks in, they get their kids, like, all right, time to go, and they start packing up their toys and shit.
Is it sundown already?
So my son goes to like an after-school program 2 days a week, and I was going to pick him up one day. It was like 5 o'clock, and this is a very Lewis thing, okay? And fine, okay, whatever. I will admit that I'm fucking crazy, but I have my cell phone. I have like Apple Pay, so I can pay for a cab with Apple Pay, okay? And so sorry, here my fucking thing came up. So I go to get out of the cab and I go to pay for it with Apple Pay, and the thing says it doesn't say declined. It just says like error code. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, I don't know what's going on, dude. I keep on doing it. I did like 4 or 5 times. I was like, it keeps saying error code. He was like, it's being declined. And I was like, it's not being declined. I'm telling you, like, I checked the balance. And now, by the way, now I'm late picking up my son. I'm like 3-4 minutes late at this point. I'm kind of like, and I'm on the corner, and his school's like halfway down the block. So this guy starts arguing with me. I'm like, buddy, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I didn't have my wallet on me. I just had brought my cell phone with me. I was like, I can't do anything. I was like, there's no ATM to go to. There's no nothing. I was like, either it accepts this or you got to get your shit fixed. So he's arguing with me. So I was like, all right, cool. See you later. I get out of the cab. So he gets out of the cab and starts following me. And he gets on the phone. He's calling 911. He's like, this guy's trying to, and I'm on my son's block of the school. And parents are walking by, and I'm going like, fucking shit. So I start walking.
You're gonna end up on the hood of a cop car. Like, I still love you. This is bullshit.
Yeah, call your mother.
So the cab driver's following me, and I'm like, buddy, stop following me. I was like, stop, because I gotta go pick up my kid. I can't have him following me in front of my kid's not gonna understand the nuance of the Apple Pay not working. My kid's only gonna take it like my dad didn't want to pay for this fucking cab, and
again, he didn't want to.
I can't let my kid see this fucking cab driver, okay? There's no way my kid's seeing this fuck. So I'm like, buddy, get the fuck away from me, dude. If you don't get away from me, I'm going to break your fucking jaw. I'm threatening this guy now. Now I'm robbing him and I'm threatening him. Multiple crimes are being committed on my son's school's block. This is weeks ago. This is right before the coronavirus outbreak. This isn't years ago. So I'm like, buddy, get the fuck away from me. What are you? He's like, oh. So he's starting to tease me. Now people are starting to line up with cell phones and tape.
Oh, my God.
Oh. Are you still trying to be polite to the other parents? Like, hey, Mrs. Fleming, good to see you.
Yes.
Get the fuck away from me, man.
Yes.
Hey, Patty, you looking good. I'll fucking kill you. I swear to God. Just want to see my kid.
So I ended up literally running after him and chasing him because every time I'd come near him, he'd back up because he was a pussy. So I started running after him and chasing him. So he starts running away from me. So I was like, all right, I think I can get him to run enough away in that direction that I can run back in this direction, take off my hat and jacket really quick so he just sees me from behind. And I don't think he's going to notice the back of my head. It's going to be me. I was like, let's just fucking do this. So I ran after him. He runs. I run. Some lady's like, what are you doing, sir? I was like, fuck you, lady. Mind your business.
I got to get my boy.
Dude, then I run to my son's school, and I'm sweating and fucking nervous. I'm like 10 minutes late. And he's like, hey, Dad. I'm like, hey, what's going on? So we walk up the block, and we go down the other block. I'm like, I'm not going to go that way. I'm going down the other way, right, to get on the next avenue. I'll hop another cab. Sure enough, as soon as I get to the corner, I see the fucking guy pull up right to the light. He looks at me, makes eye contact. And I'm like, fuck me. Leave me alone, son.
Jesus.
So I call another cab that's coming the opposite intersection. I get in it. He jumps out of his cab and starts running like Terminator 2 toward my cab. Okay? I'm looking at him. I'm like, sir, go, go. My son's like, Dad, who is that guy? I'm like,
oh, you got the kid already? Holy shit.
Yeah, no. I'm in the cab with my kid. I'm like, he wanted to steal our cab. Go, sir, go. And we have a high-speed chase. Not a high-speed chase, but we have a chase.
A pursuit
where my cab is just going. He jumps back in his cab, and I see him get fucking cut off. I mean, the look on this guy's face as I drive away, it was fucking priceless. But
Jesus Christ.
It was one of my low points as a father.
You're fucking garbage. But that was fucking awesome. That's like a trashy version of a Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah.
Like the end of Liar Liar.
I gotta get you back to your mother's house.
I have a lot of Larry David moments, so it's like I'm sort of justified in the initial annoyance or whatever it is.
Yes, you meant well at the moment. You're like, hey man, I'm trying. I'm not.
Dude.
Yeah.
His thing didn't work. I don't.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not in the wrong.
I'm not even slightly wrong. At that point, you know, I could have waited for the car. It just became this whole big thing. I just didn't think this guy was going to chase me. God bless this guy. It was like did you $8 fare. Yeah. It wasn't even a crazy fare.
Did you have cash on you?
No.
But if I did, he still wouldn't have gotten it from me.
Yeah. Lewis had a 20 in his pocket the whole time. He gets in the cab. He's like, starts peeling off 20s.
Fuck that, dude. Fuck that.
That's crazy.
He of shit. So.
You know, for all you know, he could have had the fucking Apple thing disabled because he just wants cash. Because in the beginning, when they started doing credit cards like that, none of the drivers wanted to take credit cards. They want the cash.
Yeah. Maybe he did something like that, but he was a piece of shit. So
I feel like we're involved in the easiest confession that I've ever. We didn't even ask questions. You walked in here telling us everything, just spilling your guts. One time, I picked up my kid after I had stole a cab and beat up a cab driver. I threatened a nurse. I killed a nun. We got in the cab. I never washed my hands at the ShopRite.
Oh, that's great. All right, I got one. Have you ever used a Coinstar machine for less than $20?
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Dude, I used to do that to try to just get a pack of smokes. You know what I mean? You'd be like, I got $8. Let's go.
I used to put them down as my financial institution, applying for fucking loans and shit back in the day.
Dude, I used to my Coinstar was a regular thing I would do when I was younger, like college years, of course, dude.
Yeah.
We just but I remember there's a place in Harlem right now. I don't even know if check cashing places are still open. They must be. But if you go to 127th, there's a check cashing place, and it's like a knockoff Coinstar company. I don't know what it's called, but it's not Coinstar. It's a knockoff company because Coinstar machines are pretty fucking high class. This shit's like the fucking.
He's got levels of coin counting machines.
You think Coinstar is high class? They're serving champagne?
Class, dude, let me tell you something. All right, Coinstar is like a nice machine made in the past. Like this company still uses the first coin counting machine that came out in like '83. Okay,
there's just a monkey in there rolling them up and putting them in those little rolls.
So this machine, what it does is, this is fucking psychotic. You do the Coinstar machine, and then it just prints out a slip with the amount of money on it.
Right.
There's no barcode. There's nothing to scan. It is like, I mean, you can literally just go and take this.
And then go recreate it.
whatever number you want on it. You can recreate it with ease.
You can probably do it on your phone.
Look at Foley right now. Look at his face. He's like, this is a fucking brilliant idea.
His eyes start going like slot machines. It's like cherry, cherry, cherry.
Doggy, I'm telling you right now, it was fucking, I've never done it because I only noticed it was, I don't need money that badly. But you can definitely do this. There's no question, because I went to Coinstar with my kid to fucking do like a piggy bank's worth of fucking thing. And that's how I noticed this. And I was like, this is just, it just says the number. You can put whatever it is. And it was the busy check cashing place. There was nobody else. There was all these people. They would never know. I mean, you're not going to get away with taking thousands of dollars, but you could probably get away with getting a couple $100s in one city if you're in a fucking pickle.
Yeah, see, that's what I would do. I would step over. I'd go $30,000, please.
Foley's wearing a top hat and a monocle. Like, just
good afternoon, gentlemen.
30 grand, please.
Small bills, if you don't mind, sir.
I already ordered an Uber XL. It'll be outside in a minute, so we need to pick this up.
Oh, that's great.
Are you gentlemen paying Bitcoin by any chance? Yes, thank you. You don't have anything, like you can't do anything with your toes or anything like that, can you? Like play piano or you double joint it or anything like that?
No.
Because that's real garbage. Remember the kid that could like put his arm all the way back there? His family was never prominent in the community.
That is true.
His dad was never running for mayor.
I had a friend who could take his shoulder blades and like essentially he didn't dislocate them. What he could do is just his shoulder blades would like, imagine his back is here. They would come out of his back and they would fuck. It was like almost the amount of dexterity they had in his shoulder blades. We'd take I was in a band, Salty Black Flower in high school, and drummer, garbage. So
the drummer and bassist are always fucking.
I like how we dropped
a bassist. I know, dude.
I like how we dropped the name of the band like it's Salty Black Flower.
Hell yeah, dude.
We're gonna push the website real quick.
Please. So his shoulder blades, if you could imagine, they would come out of his back and they would crush a can like long ways and then come back in. It was like he was it was crazy, dude. It was like a
Stegosaurus.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
So what's that guy doing now? He's not like the head of pediatrics at fucking Mount Sinai or anything like that, right?
No, that guy, and I believe this is what he still does. His dad used to own. His name was Chicky Bruntfield, and
that's a trashy name.
That's trashy name. White
they
trash.
named him Chicky.
Yeah, Chicky, and his dad, Chicky Senior. His dad,
Chicky the Third,
owned the like shitty used car lot. Now, not a.
It wasn't
like,
certified pre-owned or anything. It
no.
It was like A1 car
bought
sales.
Shit cars, put them in a lot, and had people buy shit cars from him. You'd go like.
It was probably just like a trailer. The office was just like a trailer with a set of stairs. Yeah.
But my first two cars were bought from Chicky's dad.
Chicky's got a He's
one
got a
was
good deal on a Honda.
1987 Chevy Cavalier, like the big cop car.
Yeah.
And then a Nissan 300ZX 1986 forest green.
Jesus Christ.
That's
shit cars.
That's a
like none of them
right
he was friends with the other like auto body. I don't know this for a fact, so I shouldn't say this if he's still operating. I'm making the joke, but this is the type of business that it is. Like he knew the guys that would do inspections like in Rockland County.
Yeah,
and
so
you know, it's a wink nudge. Yeah, dude, there was a place in Rockland County. I forget the name of it. I'm literally just fucking naming names now. I'm a fucking rat. But this place you would go and you would pay the inspection fee. But then you would just pay the guy an extra $50 and he would just pass you on inspection.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we always buy shit cars. My family always had shit cars that would never pass the inspections. And this is the way it was the most dangerous, irresponsible thing ever.
Yeah, my buddy was a mechanic and he used to be able to roll back the dial. It was older cars, but he'd be able to roll back the fucking.
What's wrong? To me, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just you figured out that's like a federal crime to fuck around with a dial.
What do you mean? If your engine could blow up or something like that. If it has 100,000 miles, you say it's brand new.
Well, also, you're not going to buy a 1991 fucking Honda Civic with 6 miles on it. Like, you're not going to roll it back that much. It's still going to have like 70K.
They city your highway, huh? 6 miles.
Right off the lot. 1984 fucking Caprice Classic. Never, driveway kept.
That's too good. Just a couple more questions for you here, Lewis. Kippy, you got one?
Yeah. Have you ever? This has to be a yes. Have you ever owned a butterfly knife?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. This finally, I found the perfect person to ask these questions. Have you ever owned a collection of any of the following, Mr. Gomez?
Yeah.
Nunchucks.
Yeah.
Chinese stars.
Yeah.
Dude, he's been asking everybody, and everybody goes, what the fuck?
Finally, you're the only other person I ever met that owned Chinese stars. When I was a kid, if you had a Chinese star, that was like pulling out a fucking 12-inch cock. It was fucking everybody back the fuck up.
Yeah, dude. And we there was a little martial arts store that just sold children weapons. It was,
You could get, dude, in the early 80s, in the 80s and 90s, you could get your hands on weapons as a youth. You
when
can
I
get
was
your
8,
hands on weapons.
I can go buy sharpened size when I was 8. That's that.
That's
I can go buy a straight up blow gun, like a blow dart gun.
I used to have one. We would go to like the flea market at the racetrack, at the Philadelphia racetrack. You go to the flea market, and they were like darts. They were like this. They were, they
they
were
were
like
that
4
long.
inches,
They were very thin.
and it was like the black tube, and you go, and dude, you could hurt a kid with that for sure.
Yeah, you could take somebody's eye out, maybe kill them if you had the perfect aim to their throat.
Yeah, good lung capacity.
The most lethal thing that we used to fuck with was the pellet gun. Remember the pellet gun? The step up of the BB gun?
For you, I think it's trans fats.
Well, the pellet gun with the sharpened pellets? Is that what
it was like almost shaped like an hourglass.
Yeah, it was like a flat wall instead of like a circle. It was like like a slug.
That'll fuck a squirrel up.
We used to have BB gun wars, we used to have 10-pump BB guns. And the rule was
you 10-pump BB gun, yeah.
Well, you pump it 2 times, and then we'd shoot each other, and it would sting a little, it would hurt a little bit. But then, you pump it 3 times, 4 times, 5. Now we're like just fucking 9 pumps each. We're like, no, I didn't do 10. Just zoom, zoom, zoom. We used to just pierce each other's bodies, faces. Like, it was psychotic, dude.
Dude, the 80s and 90s were a different time for sure. All right, I got one. Have you ever gone to a bar and asked the bartender, what's the cheapest beer?
Not in a long time. No. I always had the self-awareness to just find out what the cheapest beer was.
Yeah, like you can eyeball it sometimes. I think Foley was telling me one time you were at it was some industry party or something, and Foley's like, how much are the Coors Lights? They're like, it's an open bar, you idiot. He's like, all right, I'll take 2 fucking Jack Daniels or whatever.
Yeah, I used to go to a place called the Village Idiot in New York City when I first moved here, and it was underage drinking, 19 years old, nobody gave a fuck. You just go in, and that place had $5.50 pitchers of
Jesus
Bud Ice.
That'll fuck you.
Oh my God, a bar that serves Bud Ice. Jesus
Bud
Christ.
Ice, $5.50 pitchers. We would sell comedy club tickets on the street, and then we would go to this bar and get obliterated. Just fucking, so I spent my 21st birthday there. I fell asleep in the garbage outside. Woke up at 6 in the morning. The garbage man shook me awake.
You are literally garbage.
Literally garbage.
This is too easy, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to to medieval times or a Renaissance fair?
Renaissance fair, yeah.
Have you ever hooked up with a girl that worked at the Renaissance fair?
No, most of the people that I grew up near were racist. All the white chicks that were willing to work at a Renaissance fair. It was a weird cross section of nerdy people, but white trash. So the people that would work at the Renaissance fair, they were kind of weird and kind of nerdy and a little bit it's almost like juggalos. That's the best way. Like juggalos, I bet you there's a lot of juggalos that have worked at Renaissance fairs.
Yeah, I can see that.
For sure.
Juggalos scare me.
They say they claim to be like
a little bit of that, and a little bit. It looks like those fucking things are just like mayhem, like people fighting.
I can see Foley bouncing around with one of those big 3 liters of Faygo or whatever.
Well, that's the thing. Those that's where I would get laid the most. Those fat guys fucking close hot chicks at those things. Those guys are disgusting. You put a little fucking clown makeup on, all of a sudden you're fucking Brad Pitt.
All right, I got one more for you. Do you currently, if you were to get a phone call that you have to go, to a wedding tomorrow, do you have a suit right now that fits you?
Yes, but only because I just went to a wedding. I buy a new suit every time I go to a wedding. Because I get invited to a wedding. I fluctuate in weight so much, and I get invited to a wedding once every year or 2, right? And almost every time I got to go buy a new fucking suit. And I go to these trashy like Harlem suit stores.
You come out looking
they're
like
the
fucking,
best.
You're like Patrice O'Neal top hats. With fucking, like an umbrella,
looking like a 2001
like,
draft pick, NBA draft pick.
Yeah,
Going to a black prom.
It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. Yeah, dude. So that's every time I buy a suit, that's where I buy it from.
I feel like every adult male should be able to like jump into a suit. Like you should, like you're doing, if you don't have a suit on hand, you gotta get something together.
You know what it is though? I work for myself. I don't know. I think I don't, I wear sweatpants to fucking work every day.
Yeah.
And I didn't get into this business to have to fucking wear a suit. I don't know. I have friends who fucking are Emmy winners that when they show up to these award shows, they show up with a fucking, in sweatpants and fucking sneakers. Nobody gives a shit. Yeah. And in my opinion, that's way more fucking of a boss move than
just to show up in whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but like, I'm fucking better than this.
Yeah,
I'm not
fuck
living,
this stupid thing you're doing. Yeah.
I'm not living my life by this standard. I've created my own fucking standard, and that's the way people should be.
I like that.
Louis J. Gomez dropping gems here.
Dropping fucking knowledge in everybody. Louis, I want to thank you so much for sitting down and for talking with us. Is there anything that you'd want to let everybody know? Not that they don't already know.
I mean, nobody listens to this, so I mean,
I listen to it.
It'll be me and Kippy later on.
Gas Digital. Anything you want to tell us in the future?
So I'll let you guys know you're really cool. I really like hanging out with you guys today. No, thank you guys for listening. I got a couple pods. Go to my website, gasdigitalnetwork.com. It's a great network that has 22 podcasts, including Legion of Skanks, Realize Podcast, Believe You Me with Michael Bisping. That's the other one that I host as well. And we're doing a 30-day free trial if you use the promo code HOME. So you can get 8,000 hours of the funniest podcast on the planet. Andrew Dice Clay's show is up there, the first season of that show. He's not doing it anymore, but it's still up there. A lot of incredible shows. So go check that out. And, I don't know. Keep on fucking supporting great shows like this. It's a lot of fun. It's a great show.
Thanks.
Thank you,
appreciate
Louis.
you doing it.
Really appreciate it, buddy. Kippy, you got anything?
Yeah, all my live dates, KevinRyanComedy.com. Guys, just rate, review, subscribe, share with a friend. We appreciate the support as we get this off the ground.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next week. Louis, thank you again, brother. Everybody make sure they check out, if they don't already, which I'm sure most people listen to this, already know who you are, Gas Digital Network. Thank you guys so much. Louis, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, guys. You're the best.
Hey, buddy.